Hello, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to Grounded in Purpose Healing Truth Channel podcast. Today, this evening, we're going to go over a book that I've been reading. I did say that I wanted to talk about the book. Got a few books I've, been collecting, and I just think it's important that we, especially being a Black woman, I feel like we need to read more. We don't realize how therapeutic reading is, and not just reading any book. You got to get something that resonates with your spirit, something that you feel that brings value to your life or to how you feel. Things that gives you a different vibration, high vibrational things, not too much low vibrational, Debbie Downer type of stuff. The book that I have been reading it's called, I've had this book quite some time. I could say at least about a year and didn't even read it. Ridiculous. But I'm changing that situation. I'm getting better with getting more into reading the book. So it's called The Black Woman, The Second Self of God. And it's by Nuri Muhammad. My take on this book, I found it to be pretty informative, very uplifting. I found it to be just one of those books that kind of resonates with your spirit being a Black woman. Now, as far as the religious aspect of it, I don't get into the religious aspect of it. I'm not going to really get into that because I don't follow religions or beliefs. I don't get in that. But on the positive note, which I'm going to keep it positive because it's still a brother, and I feel like this was an awesome book that he wrote, despite whatever he believed. Because this is a lot. There's so much truth in this book when it comes to the Black woman, and there's gonna be a few little sections that I want to talk about because I feel this is something important that the Black community, the melanated dominant human beings need to know. This is stuff that we have to understand who we are, especially being a Black woman, because I've spoken on this type of stuff before, and it kind of just me reading it again from someone else, especially being a Black man writing this, it kind of touches your spirit. It touched my spirit because the things that I read is some of the things that I've even mentioned in my videos before. And I'm just going to go over, because it's so important that we understand who we are, our positions in life, our positions with the Black man, the Black woman's position with the Black man. We have to know our positions with each other and how we balance each other out and how we are supposed to be one. There's no you and there's no I, there's us. We are one. So I want to talk about, there was a part on here, I'm going to read it. It says, when you make something that has already been created and make a copy of the created thing. But when you create something, you take from nothing and make from the very beginning that which you call created. I'm going to read that again because I got something to say on that, because I feel that was powerful. It says, when you make something, you take from something that has already been created. See, when you make something, you're just making it. That's like me going in the kitchen, reading a recipe and making it, because I didn't create it. I didn't come up with the ingredients. I didn't put it in my mind and create this. And there's a big difference from making and creating. It says, when you make something, you take from something that has already been created and make a copy of the created thing. But when you created something, you take from nothing and make from the very beginning that which you call created. And I feel that is powerful because we have to understand the things that, this is powerful to me because I feel it resonates with me. When you create something, it's coming from within you. It's coming from within your spirit. It's coming from within your mind. You're taking everything that's within you to create something. You are the creator. This has a lot to do with our relationships, our lives, the things that occur in our lives, our goals, our, the things that happen, whether it be good or bad. We create these things. That's what life is about, even being in relationships, whatever type. We have to understand a lot of the things that happens in our lives. Most of the things that happen in our lives is because we created it. No matter how we think about it, we created it. There's good and there's evil in every single person. We all have choices as to what we choose to be. Some people choose to be evil. Some people choose to be good. That's just how life is. And I had to say that because I felt that was powerful, because so often we put so much on, we put a lot of spirituality into things outside of us instead of acknowledging what's within us. And that's where I clash a little bit with the book, because my knowing have me on a different level than the belief. So, but as far as this book, I think it's a really good book. If you would like to read a book about, if you're just into trying to understand the Black woman, the Black man, and I'm talking about too, as far as being Black. This is a good book to read because it not only talks to you about, it not only discusses how a woman should carry themselves, but the power of a woman, how the Black woman is underrated, how we are the creator of nations, how everything comes from the Black woman, how we should uplift our men, the Black man, the things that they require. And there was a part in here, I totally love this part, because so often we get so wrapped up into, and I love the way this was put, because love is not carnal attraction or physical thing, lust or infatuation. I can't talk sometimes. Or infatuation. And I think the problem is nowadays you have so many men, and I'm going to say men right now, because from the things we hear on TV, the entertainment industry, it's all about sex and money and the way a woman looks and her body and this and that. And that's what's wrong with us now, because we have allowed ourselves to be deprogrammed from who we originally were into people that don't really understand the value of who you are. And what I mean by that is, we talk about money and sex like that's all that we're about, when we have so much more to us. When you're a walking creator, not creation, we are all creation, but you are, my beautiful melanated dominant people, you are creators. And we have to raise our mindsets to a different level as to this stuff that we do, how women are portraying themselves, our Black women, our Black men. And we don't realize how much of an influence this stuff has on us, on our mindsets, on our children. Like, it's literally consumed a lot of us. And we're at the point in time, we have to get our power back. We have to know who we are and change the story. Go back to who you were. Go back to who you originally were. And I'm not talking about right now in that physical form. I'm talking about in a spiritual form. We're walking around here like we don't know who we are, and we're at so low vibrational thinking that it's all about money, sex, cars, big houses, this and that and that and this. And we're not valuing each other. We're devaluing each other. We're supposed to be uplifting each other. How can we be a strong nation of people if we are the weakest ones? We have to understand what's going on. We have to understand who we are. And I say that every time because a lot of us don't know who we are. And I'm not talking about the color of your skin. I'm talking about within your spirit. It goes deeper than that. Yes, your melanin plays the number one reason as to knowing who you are, but you also have to dig deep within yourself and understand why you have melanin. What are the strengths? What are the energies? What are the powers within you that have been trying, that they've been trying to keep from you for so long? We're not living in our power. We're living of the world. And that's just what I felt like. This was a really good book. I felt that was really nice. It touched my spirit. I feel like this is something that, you can really kind of touch someone off of this book. You want to sit down and talk to someone and have a discussion about the Black woman, the Black man, the different aspects of a woman, the things that we go through. It talks about our hormones and the things with our menstrual cycles, the things that how our hormones go up and down. And it explains so much depth to understand why we get moody, why we get emotional. We are strong creatures. We are strong beings. I'm not going to say creatures. We are strong beings. Men are made the way they are made for a reason, and we were made the way we are made for a reason. Every race of people that you see now have been birthed from the Black woman. Let's just be real. But we don't walk around like we know who we are. We're still seeking attention by the things we wear, living outside of yourself. What I mean by that is doing things that you know that is not of you just to try to attract someone else. Seeking happiness outside of yourself. I've done that, tried to seek happiness outside of myself. It wasn't nobody else's responsibility to keep me happy but myself. And a lot of the times we end up in bad situations and relationships because we're constantly seeking validation, acceptance, love. And these are things that we have to start getting within ourselves. Once you know who you are, you're not going to let that type of stuff affect you. You're going to know who you are to the point where you're going to hold your head up. We have to understand that things have changed, and we have to change with time. We can't still be stuck in the same mind frame. In order for us to be strong and build the nations that we're supposed to be building now, because now is our time to stand up and know who we are and walk in that authority. And what I mean by authority, I mean authority over yourself. You have authority over you. Nobody else have authority over you. You thank the Creator. You thank the bloodline of your ancestors. Thank the universe. These are the things we have to understand. The strength that we have within ourselves is there. You have the strength in you. Everybody's timing is different. Everybody's timing is different. Everybody's sin is different. But it comes a time where we have to understand who we are. We all have to change at some point in time. Or guess what? We'll be stuck in a vicious cycle of doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I feel it's so important for the Black man and the Black woman to get strong again, build families. You know, our children should be growing up in homes where they see both of their parents loving each other, respecting each other. The father is there. Because nowadays, people get married for the wrong reasons. You have so many people get married, then get divorced. Like, maybe it's people that been married 3-4 months and divorced right after that, spend all this money on these weddings just to get divorced. Because you know why? Two different spirits, two different souls. That wasn't your soulmate. We got to start understanding when somebody is for you, they're going to be for you. You're going to understand that. Too many of us are getting trapped in the way a person looks, what a person has, or, you know, or even being in a relationship with someone. We're not even going to say that, because some of us have been in relationships with people who we think we're constantly waiting on them to change and get their act together, and they don't. They do one little thing and then they ready to propose to you. They do one little thing right as far as your relationship, and you ready to just go to the altar. Then once you marry, it's back to square one. And then you're locked into misery. Because too many of us are not taking that time to understand who we are, work on ourselves. Because once you work on yourself, you'll understand who is for you and who's not for you. Your spirit is going to let you know automatically. Nope, that ain't what's up. Nope, your spirit is going to reject it. We have to start paying attention to go back to your first self. We have to start paying attention to your inner self, your first mind. That's the spirit talking to you, telling you, looking out for you. A lot of the times when, you know how you have a situation and it's like, say for instance, okay, you're driving and then in your mind, something tells you, don't turn left, just keep straight. But you out of impulse, acting out of the flesh, you decide, I'm turning left. And then you turn left and you get into a car accident. We have to start knowing when the spirit is talking to us, because we are spiritual beings. Black people, we are spiritual beings. So when your spirit is talking to you, when you start tapping into your spirit, because a lot of us don't realize how spiritual and powerful we are. Your energy. Just like the earth is made out of electrons, we are made out of electrons. There's a lot of energy within us, ether. We have to start thinking about who we are, the power we have, and the strength that we have to make things happen the right way, positive way. Make better decisions in our lives, especially when it comes to relationships. And I'm strictly talking about relationships because this book, I went into over because of the book. So, and I want to talk about, it's another part in here I wanted to go over. Yes. And there's a part that says are built in self-validation systems make us feel less. But when we meet and overcome all obstacles in our path, it enhances our love of self and gives us greater peace and power. When you love yourself, it ain't nothing nobody can tell you about who you are. When you love yourself and you know yourself and you've tapped into your spirituality and you've worked on the ma'at, that's when you know there's nothing anybody that can tell you can make you question who you are, how you feel about yourself, the type of person that you are, or any of that. Because you know within your spirit, you've done the inner work. And the spirit is going to let you know. The Most High Creator is going to let you know when you've done that inner work. Nobody's going to make you feel bad about how you look, what you wear, the things you do, the things you say. Now, if you stand on the negative, if we talking about positive, we talking about high vibrational things. When you're doing things the right way, you're not going to let a lot of things affect you. I've learned that. Out of all the people that may sit up and talk about me behind my back and, you know, tried to throw me under the bus, make me look bad, you know, do all type of stuff to me. We've all been through it. I'm sure I've done something that probably hurt somebody that I didn't even know about. But I know that I've worked on myself as a human being. These are the things that we grow from. We don't dwell on them. We don't worry about what somebody doing and saying and all this stuff. That makes you a better person because we're growing past that. Because at the end of the day, the energy you put out is what you receive. You put out, those people that put out that bad negative energy, the hating, the backstabbing, whatever they doing, you know, the exes, whatever's going on, let them people be great. Because whatever they're doing, trust and believe you me, they're feeling it. That goes with any of us. That's even in relationships. Because like it says, we have to stop seeking validation from other people and find what's in you that makes you happy. You solidify your life. Nobody else solidifies it. You solidify your life. This is something we have to understand when it comes to who we are. And I feel there's a beautiful future for the Black man and the Black woman on building relationships. I feel we can change. I feel that we have come into the know and a lot of us are stepping out of these beliefs. And you have to, I feel a very important part of a relationship is being with somebody who's you're evenly yoked with, as the Bible would say, evenly yoked with, or has the same type of spirit. I'm not even going to say spirit because everybody's spirit is different. The same type of energy, the same type of soul, because there are soulmates, but every spirit is different. But you have to know your soulmate. And when it's time, the Most High Creator and the universe, you will meet your soulmate. There's somebody for everybody. And when the Most High Creator created man and woman, best believe he created Black man and Black woman for a reason. The first beings on this planet, besides the living organisms that was here before human beings. We were created in here. We have to understand the energy that we have within ourselves, the love that we have within ourselves, the connection. Everything is about energy. And you have to understand and look at it like this. You know how you just around somebody, or you can tell certain vibes, or you go somewhere and, you know, it's like the vibe is off. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and I'm going to say this because this is kind of off topic, but I kind of felt bad that I was driving and I should not have done that, because I felt like this guy really got his day ruined. It was early in the morning and his energy, he went from 0 to 100 super quick. So he was driving and I was trying to get over, you know, because I'm a driver, you know what I'm saying? So I be trying to be careful and stuff, you know, because I be whipping it, you know. If you know, from the big city, I learned how to drive in Chicago, so I be whipping it. I be trying to be careful, which I'm really careful. I don't be ridiculous with it, but I was trying to get over and there was some space, so I got over. You know, I kind of got it whipped over real quick. He wasn't moved up or anything. It was space where I could whip in front of him, so... He was heated. Do you hear what I'm saying? He was was heated, okay? He was mad. All I could see is him, pressing on his brakes and slamming on them and like trying, like he wanted to hit me and throwing up his middle finger and stuff. And I'm just shaking my head like, man, I'm so sorry, dude. If I knew you was gonna go crazy like this, I would have just stayed in the other lane. Like, this dude was really crazy. He was acting like he was about to crash my car. And I'm like, oh my God. So I just waved at him. I was like, I'm so sorry and stuff, and he studied throwing up his middle finger. He took his frustration out on every single car after that. I felt so bad because after he was able to get over, he whipped in front of me, zoomed up behind a whole bunch of other cars, whipped in front of another car, whipped over, then sped up and got in a lane where you're not even supposed to be in just to go around another car. He was so mad, just zooming on the tail of every car after that. And my point of this is, that's how energy, see, little things like that. That guy probably more than likely was chilling and cool until I whipped in front of his car. That energy just took over his spirit to the point every single person that he got behind, he probably transferred that energy because he zoomed up behind somebody else and was doing all that crazy stuff. And that person probably got upset. And then another person. It's like you transferring that negative energy. And that's what I mean by that. I had to control myself because in my my other life, he would have got cussed out or flicked back off, but I'm just being honest because that's how I would have reacted. But I felt bad, because I didn't mean for this person to get that upset and disturb his energy for that morning, because he probably had a bad day the rest of the day. And I just thought about it like, wow, I should have just waited and not got in front of this guy, because now he's taking it out on every single car. Everybody got it. Everybody. After me, because he wasn't driving like that. He was calm and everything. But after that, he was so upset to the point he almost wanted to crash. And I felt really bad. And I was like, man, I really didn't mean for things to get that ugly and things like that. But my point of that is, we just have to protect our energy, because you can be such a strong person, have so much energy in you, that you can transfer that energy to other people, whether it's good or bad. That's even with hugs. Like, when you hug someone, some people feel better after a hug because you've given them some energy and love. Like, some people, feel good, but I don't hug on people no more like I used to. I just don't. I don't hug people anymore. I usually stand there and talk to them. Usually if it's my, family, that's different, but other people and things like that, I just don't do a lot of hugging anymore like I used to, because I don't really be out like that anymore. I kind of stay to myself for a reason, protecting my energy. But that was my point as far as being in a relationship with someone. It's all about energy. High vibrational energy, low vibrational energy, low vibrational thinking, low vibrational lifestyles. You have some people that's just stuck on money and gossip and stuff like that. You got to kind of raise your vibration up a little bit. And I've noticed sometimes, like, my daughter, when she talks to me, my baby girl, she'll talk to me and she'll be like, she's like, positive mama. I'm like, yeah, because that's not how I used to be. I was quick to pop off, and I had to change that, because first off, life is too short. Secondly, there's a lot more things that I could be putting that energy towards than releasing negative energy, because it takes energy to get mad. It takes energy to think of something negative. It's more work and energy to think of negative things than it is positivity. Positivity does a lot to your body in a good way. Good energy does good things to your body. Negative energy does a lot of things to your health, your thoughts, just your daily life. That's why some people go through depression. Some people go through, all type of different things because of the And sometimes it could be the people that's around them. You know, we just have to think about it when we get in these relationships. And I feel that it's a beautiful thing that this brother came out with this book, because it shows how important it is to be well balanced within your spirit, so that you can be with the person that the Most High Creator has for you. Because everybody that you see, just because it look good, don't mean it's good for you. So often we quick to jump in these relationships for all the wrong reasons. Instead of loving a person for who they are, love that person for who they are. Because a lot of the times you can love a person to be the other version of yourself. And what I mean by that is, when you meet someone, when the Most High Creator puts you with someone, that's your soulmate. That's when you know the Most High Creator. Because there's a lot of people who have beautiful marriages. There's a lot of black couples out there who have beautiful marriages. Those are the ones you know that were put together by the Creator. They love each other. They're uplifting each other. They're supporting each other. They're on the same wavelength spiritually. Not one person following beliefs, the other one following knowledge and spirituality. This is what, I'm just being real, because this is a major thing right now. This is another thing. People are in relationships with, people have relationships and marriages. They say, for instance, somebody's married, your husband don't agree with what you're believing in, and he's on something else and you on something else, and y'all can't even get along, have a conversation. That's not what it's about. Something got to give, because it takes two to create one mind. You have the God gene in you, the God DNA in you. You're not God, but you have the God DNA in you. Two creates one. When you're together, you create your life. You create your reality of a good marriage, of a happy family, of all the things that you desire in life. But too many people are off balance and unevenly yoked, so your relationships don't work. I'm thankful to the Creator that I was able to save myself. I listened to that. I listened. When it was time for me to say, no, I'm straight, I'm not finna lock into this, I listened. Because I'm not even kidding. All I could hear is my grandmother telling me, and my grandmother was passed away. I could hear my grandmother telling me, don't do it, baby. She loves him, don't do it, baby. And all I could hear is my grandma saying, don't do it, baby. And I said, I'm not, Granny. I'm not gonna do it. And I didn't. We have to start loving ourselves enough to know what we deserve as a black woman and as a black man. How can we be strong if we're not strong together? And I love this book because this book talks about that. It really goes into how the black woman is valued and how she's looked at, and the things that makes a black woman, the things that makes a black man, the things that black men require. It's not always about sex. There was this part in this book that I read. I said, oh, I gotta read this because, man, if this wasn't far from the truth, man, there was a great part in here. I was highlighting stuff and I understanding the person that you are. And once you work on your inner self, everything else will fall into place. Everything. You're not going to be sitting up worried about, you know, whether you going to ever find the right man, or, you know, are you pretty enough, or what you got to do to keep a man and all this stuff. When you've done the inner work, you don't question any of that, because what's for you will come to you. It will come to you. We have to stop seeking things outside of who we are. And we have to start understanding who we are within ourselves. I think that's important. And it says here, the variables of this love language of a man is respect. Converting respect into an acronym to extract the nuance, I can't even pronounce that word, of this principle. R stands for the general principle of respect. E is for esteem. S is for sight, smile, speech, sensual touch. P stands for powerful. E is what he eats. Hey, they say to a man's heart is through his stomach. Trust and believe that. And T is to train your children to love, respect, and honor their father. I thought those were pretty cool acronyms. I was trying to find that part that I thought was really, 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 really. Okay. This kind of goes off of what I was just talking about, how a relationship, it shouldn't be built off of infatuation, sex, money, the way a woman looks, the way a man looks, you know, things like that. And it says here, the dynamic of a relationship has to be more than just about sex. When you do a hard examination of how time is spent in a relationship, the first thing you will notice is that the majority of the time that men and women spend time together, I'm sorry, because I just think this is something else, how this was worded, because it just had me thinking like, wow, ain't that the truth? It says, when you do a hard examination of how time is spent in a relationship, the first thing you will notice is that the majority of the time that men and women spend together is in a vertical position. We are standing, sitting up, communicating, working together, cleaning, or watching this program in a vertical position. That means we're up doing things together. The majority of the time that a male and a female have in their relationship is all vertical. Only a few moments are horizontal, representing the supine or the laying down with one another in the act of intimacy. Well, if there is only a small pocket of time within a relationship that is spent in a horizontal position or intimacy, with the majority of the time is spent in a vertical position and in the spiritual world, vertical represents spiritual and mental development, with horizontal representing the physical and financial development. Then the primary ingredient that we should be looking for to build a good relationship is communication, intelligence, righteousness, and not intimacy. That was powerful for me, because that's what it's all about. That's what it's all about. That summed it up right there, because we are too spiritual to be caught up in the physical the way we do. That's why a lot of the times things don't turn out the way they do, because we're working out the physical instead of the spiritual. That's why it's so important to understand who is for you. Do the inner work, do the spiritual work within yourself, because once you work on yourself, because you never know, you could be putting off energy on this person and making this person be a certain way, or that person could be putting off energy on you. You never know. That's why it's so important to do the inner work. And I'm speaking because I can vouch to this, because I've been there. That's why I'm saying this, because I've been there. I've held on to bad relationships and questioned myself, and what I did learn, though, one thing I've always done is taken accountability for my decisions. I don't put it on anybody else. I don't accuse anybody else for decisions that I've made in any relationship, because we all have a choice. And when you're not living in the spirit and you're living in the physical form, that's the outcome. So I just felt that it was important to understand who I was, to be able to walk away from things that wasn't for me and no longer serve the purpose in my life. Like, I don't seek validation from anybody, and nobody should ever seek validation outside of themselves. Understand who you are and love yourself, because you are special. Every single being have a purpose on this earth. Know that you are special. Don't get in situations or relationships because, you have friends or people that just push certain people on you and feel like, this and this and that. No, you go by your spirit. Get to know a person, because your spirit is going to tell you whether they're for you or not. We have to start using our minds and our spirit, and not our bodies and our bodies, our physical. Use your spiritual and your mental, and open that third eye. Thank you guys for tuning in to my podcast and going over The Black Woman, the Second Self of God by Nuri Muhammad. It is a good book. There's more to the book. It goes into being a mother, things like that. It's a really good book. We have to understand everybody believe what they believe. So, I look past that. I don't really, judge people anymore on what they believe. I don't follow beliefs. I follow knowledge and truth, and I will continue to walk in my purpose of knowledge and truth. Like I stated, always, I'm never going to change how I feel. We should not be forcing our beliefs on it. Don't force your beliefs on anybody. Seek knowledge and wisdom for yourself. Do some reading. Black people do read. You heard. We read. So that's what I feel. We got to step our game up. It's time. It's time for us to step our game up. Get some books, Get some books that you think resonate with your spirit, or get into some books that just going to help you grow mentally, spiritually, help build your vocabulary up, because that's what I do. I'm getting into things that's going to give me knowledge, and that's on the path that I'm on. Whatever you choose to do in life, you can do it. You can definitely do whatever you choose to do in your life. Clear your mind, stay positive, stay in prayer. Prayer is powerful. Prayer is the key. Prayer keeps you going. So I'm going to my podcast cut off again. The first time I was doing my podcast, I accidentally hit the button, it stopped, had to start it again. So this is the ending to my podcast. I want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in to the Grounded in Purpose Healing Truth channel. I am a life coach. My name is LaFrance. You can reach me at LaFrance at groundedinpurposelifecoaching.com. That's LaFrance at GIPlifecoaching.com. If you have questions, if you want to reach out to me, you need somebody to talk to, or you even got questions on some books, or if you can give me some advice on some good books to read, that'll help, So thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. And I will talk to you again this Friday, Fateful Friday. Stay in prayer, stay true to yourself, focus on the inner work. your inner spirit, good vibrations, good vibes only. Love you guys. Have a good night.